very, very scatterbrained. These lives make me so nervous. By the way, I got a little fan here. I might turn this on every now and then because it's hot. Like when you say you finished school, do you mean like you just got out of school at like X time, or do you mean like you have graduated school? But yeah, what do you mean by that? So are you? Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live. Please do me a big favor and double tap, give it that like, so the algorithm will bless us a little bit, hopefully. But yeah, so like what grade are you in, or like, if you're in like secondary, or how that works? Actually, no, it is 8:31 a.m. So it's the morning for me. Like I woke up like an hour and a half ago. So going into ninth, so here that would make you a freshman. So you're about to go to high school, the equivalent of high school. How do you do in school? Or do you like it? Do you got a lot of friends? How's that go for you? I ended up going to like an alternative high school. So we had two high schools, the main high school and an alternative high school. And I ended up going to the alternative high school. I mean, overall, I actually liked my high school experience. I can definitely look back on some bad things, but overall, it was actually pretty nice. And freshman and sophomore year, probably two of my favorites because I met one of my best friends. So, but yeah, are you excited to be going into high school? Are you nervous? But now, see, my middle school experience here in Ohio, middle school in my town at least, was just simply 7th and 8th grade. And my 7th grade year, fantastic. Like one of the best years of my school career ever. 8th grade, literally one of the worst. Like traumatizing year for me. No joke. So I was very happy to be leaving middle school. I would say my favorite years of school were probably in high school. I mean, like I said, my 7th grade year was awesome. My 6th grade year in elementary was also pretty awesome. But then like everything before 5th, kind of dicey. That's funny because one of the problems I had in 8th grade was like my friend group over that summer leading into it kind of broke apart. I can't even remember what the incident was. It was something very stupid and trivial though. But it just kind of fractured the whole group. And so there was like 7 of us, and we all kind of went our own ways. Or one person stuck to one, but then like, no, the whole group just didn't interact anymore by the time 8th grade happened. It was such an odd year, and we all used to walk to school together, so we all kind of chose different times to walk. So, my youngest nephew, who just turned 8 last weekend, or the weekend before that, he lives like a town over, and the way they're doing their school district now is basically they'll be in the same building with the same teachers from 1st grade all the way up until like 8th grade. And then I also went to like 7 different schools in total. Like, so he'll be in one building. That's insane to me. I've seen that in like TV shows where like they're just basically in one building all the way up until they graduate. But like here, that's just unheard of. So, by the way, this was supposed to be a tag that says I'm doing ASMR, but obviously it's smaller than I anticipated. So, honestly, that's how it was for me for a very long time. Like I said, with my friend group until the 8th grade. Now we did end up making up by like sophomore year, so that was really what? Junior. Wait, how does that go? Wait, no, that's wrong. How's it go? Freshman, junior, sophomore, senior. I guess we kind of made up partially through freshman year going into junior year. Is that right? It was still kind of weird. And really, we didn't become like really good friends again until after we all graduated. Your class only has like 11 students. Did I read that right? Or do you mean like you only go up to grade 11? Because like when I was in school, our classrooms were packed. I mean, when I was like in 4th grade, we had like 35 students in a classroom. Before 6th grade, I was kind of a troubled student. So I ended up getting kicked out of school in the fifth. No, it was in the fourth grade, and they transferred me to a whole nother school, or I just would have been like expelled. So I would have had no school to go to. And my mom worked, and my dad was doing whatever he did then. And there was just no option, so I had to go to this other school, like basically on the edge of town. And wait, where am I going with this? What did you say? Oh, the smaller school, the smaller thing. So, anyways, they put me in this other school, and they also put me on something called an IEP, and they put me in this reduced classroom that had like a fraction of the students. Anyways, I thrived in that environment. That's really what I needed until like eighth grade, because I was like, you know, they said I was mainstreamed again, so I was like, okay to go back with like the regular populace and be in the bigger class. That was considered an achievement at the time, but I hated it. I was like, I kept thinking maybe I should just be bad again, so I don't have to like be in these big ass classrooms with like 20, 30 people, because I did not like it. But I did like being on an IEP though, and that's why I did so much better in those smaller classrooms, because and also we had a teacher's aide, so you had the teacher and a teacher's aide, and so that just helped out a whole lot, and they could be more attentive and figure out your problems, especially since I had ADHD and some other behavioral problems. Like, I could be a problem, and plus I had the tendency to be like the class clown, so I was distracted very, very easily. But they figured me out pretty early in, so, and that helped. And that's how I actually remember discovering ASMR was in like the fifth grade, because the teacher came up to me to help me figure something out with like a problem, and she started whispering, and I was just kind of like I was like hypnotized. Like every single word, I was just like, and then she stopped talking. I'm just staring at the paper like, oh, it's over. So yeah. Anyways, honestly, smaller classes I think are better for everybody, but with public school, no one wants to pay the taxes to like increase the funding for schools, and then everyone's like, public school, blah 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 blah, but they need the money. You gotta pay the teachers. You gotta pay for the courses and the classes and all that stuff. People need to be paid. And teachers, by the way, are already underpaid. I actually wanted to be a teacher. And when I was actually going to college to be a teacher, I decided, no freaking way. I couldn't do it. Like, there's just... And plus, like, I actually was really cool with some of my teachers in high school. And I already knew that they paid a lot of money out of pocket for a lot of the stuff that we already had. And there's some really, really good teachers, you know what I mean? There's those like really good ones who want to like teach and educate and help people, and then you have those other ones who are like, I don't know, maybe they had like a really rough year or they became really jaded to it, but now it's like they hate everything, everyone in life, and it's like, why don't you switch professions? Okay, because if you're a bad teacher with a bad attitude, it's just gonna radiate into the students, you know what I mean? And it's gonna make their experience worse, and they're not gonna want to come to school, or they're gonna misbehave. But teachers also have very little authority, so it's like you can be in the classroom, because like I said, I was a pretty rough kid, you know what I mean, there for a while, you know what I mean, I can be very disruptive, and they have essentially no power. Say, very rare, but also, like I said, I'm very happy for you. That's how it should be. Your whole education experience is probably a lot different than a lot of people that I know. But that's also one of the reasons why I went to that alternative school, because it was more like... Did I mention we got new neighbors? Like, if you hate what you do, just switch professions, please. And that's easier said than done. You know what I mean? Especially if you're used to making X amount. You know, if you're a teacher, you probably can't just go and switch to working at like Kroger's or Walmart or Target. You know what I mean? Because the pace is not going to be the same. And benefits. That's a whole other thing too, right? You're definitely not getting benefits at retail, which is BS, but whatever. Especially at Walmart, they have like billions and we're not gonna get into that. Because you happen to hear those dogs barking, or because I heard them barking. I don't even know what kind of breeds those dogs are. But anyways, back to the whole school thing. Yeah, like I said, smaller classes. benefit everybody. They probably benefit the teachers too. Honestly, the teachers have a lot to work with. Could you imagine being a teacher and trying to teach 35 students? Like I said before, 5th grade, I was kind of a problem. I was the class clown. I needed to be the center of attention, so I was just like distracting. I got put out in the hallway all the time. I hated that. They put me outside in the hallway with like a little desk facing the wall. And I hated it. I was just distracted, and I wasn't being treated for my ADHD, so that was really a big part of it. But also, they said I had problems with authority. So, and I honestly did. I did not like being told what to do. I was like, "You're not my mom. You're not my dad." So, yeah. Maybe just for a second and add this plastic wrap on here. Glue sticks. Have you seen this with the plastic wrap and the glue sticks? Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey. Welcome to the video. Nice to see you. Isn't Father's Day this weekend? By the way, what kind of games are you into? Outlast. Outlast. Doom. It's so weird. One of my favorite games of all time is The Last of Us. But when I was younger, I played one of those Doom games, and it traumatized me. Like, I still can't really play scary games like that because of Doom. Doom freaked me out that much. Also, Resident Evil. I don't know what it is. I don't like. I don't know. I don't like when characters follow me. I guess because I also thought Half-Life was really scary. What about Apex? Do you play Apex? Or more recently, Marvel Rivals. Everyone's playing Marvel Rivals right now. I don't have a system that can play Marvel Rivals yet. I could try my PC, but it would probably just be a nightmare. No Apex, no Rivals. I mostly care about Apex though. To be fair, I'm not that into shooters. I really have no business liking Apex, but I guess it's because it's so different. It's not really just a shooting game, right? You got all of these special powers and really crazy characters. I've actually never used CapCut, which is what I edit with, on my laptop before. I have the app on there. It's just, I don't know. Plus, trying to get video from an iPhone onto a Windows PC. Apple deliberately made it difficult to do it, by the way. Thanks, Jacob, for joining, by the way. Appreciate you. Have a good day and weekend. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much. It makes me feel really good because a couple people have said that now. And really, really surprised me because I was very... Yeah, I smell that. Doesn't it just look like vanilla ice cream or like whipped cream? Don't just want to bite into it. Or just lick it right up. Yeah, it was funny. But, that's a really long stem. Well, I could tell because it's not that paper one that kind of disintegrates as you're going along. I had my hair braided up until yesterday. For like 2 weeks. And notice the bandanas that have been covering my entire head lately. My hair grew so much that whole time. see videos from them, like ASMR Zeitgeist. Production-wise, they're very similar. Um, I'm just like, man, I would love for my videos to come out like that. But their equipment is so much different. Plus, they got like that head shape microphone. No joke, it's like $10,000-$20,000. Like no joke, I looked it up. That thing is expensive. Steve, yeah. The only way I'm getting Steve is if they like, I get a sponsorship down the line and they send it to me. Oh yeah, hella expensive. You wouldn't think that just by looking at it. I mean, it does look fancy, but 10, 20 grand blew my mind. I was like, how in the world do they afford these? But they've got millions of subscribers, so they probably didn't even pay for it. I think the quiet is ASMR is because he has basically sound cancellation. And obviously that mic makes all the difference, but he's got good production, he's got good props. If you haven't seen ASMR Zeitgeist, I'd watch him because he has really good props too. It's so funny, the other day I saw a JoJo video where because I actually do like a lot of low quality ASMR myself. I probably consume more of that than I do any other kind. Definitely also from smaller channels. It's sad because the smaller channels don't stick around very often. So as soon as you get used to them, they're gone. Which, guilty as charged, like I did the same thing, but it can be very discouraging in this space because there's a lot of ASMR out there, right? Like there's just tons and tons of ASMR. So it's like people have a ton of options, but also there's just YouTube has a lot to try to push at once. So some people grow faster than others. And some people get lucky, like right out of the gate. They're everywhere. Same. And I love it when they push me new channels. Especially when they're really passionate about it. Now sometimes some people get into it and they're just really not that into it. And it shows. But I think a lot of the time people have just a passion for it. Oh yeah, ASMR is gigantic right now. Like it's way bigger than I think most people even imagine. And yet it's still so weird to talk about it in public because people look at it so strange still. Like it's so like ASMR is huge. But you say it out loud and people are looking at you like, and I'm like, just because the only thing you've heard about is like the crazy stuff. Like there's more to ASMR than just the controversial crap, alright? Like seriously. Most of it isn't controversial. Once they simply outright don't like ASMR. And I'm like, look, what do you mean? like you don't like the whispering, or you don't like do you mean certain triggers? They're just like, no, I don't like any of it. I'm like, fine. ASMR is such a regular part of my life at this point. I mean, I basically shoot every day. I'm constantly editing, and I'm constantly also watching it. Like, I had a marathon on my playlist of YouTube just the other night. In fact, I was watching a guy. He was opening up Pokemon cards. It was such a relaxing video. I loved it. He was mispronouncing the damn names left and right, but that was fine. That's fine. To be fair, I didn't even know some of those names. There's a whole lot of Pokemon now. I tried really hard there for a while to cut it down. I've gotten better at it recently, but mostly because if I'm shooting every single day, I don't really get the time to shoot like taking out all the talking parts, and I'm I'm like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, what was it? That last video, I was like, I didn't even talk that much. I was telling myself while I was actually shooting the video, but while I'm taking it all out, I'm like, wow. And my talk pattern, there really isn't a pattern to it. It's just kind of talk, you know. So it's like I watch some ASMR artists, and when they're doing a mukbang, they'll be like, they'll eat, chew, talk. There's their pattern. That's not how I am. I'm just like, I'm talking throughout, and it's like right before I bite is when I stop talking. It's so infuriating to edit it, I swear. But I do like how they come out. I do like the no talking ones. It's like I could just not talk, but I cannot sit here and just eat. See, like I'm definitely I like to watch something when I eat, but you can't do that when you're doing ASMR because you need to be quiet. So I definitely gotta talk. I guess I'm just not really feeling that great that day. Oh, we are down to 20%. What time is it? I said I was gonna stop at 10. So we've got about 30 minutes, but that battery's not going to last that long. So, but just in case it just wants to die really soon, because I swear the other day I got a little warning that said 10%, like you're down to 10%, and I swear 2 minutes later it died. Again, this is an iPhone 10, so it's a little old. Still. Now, honestly, that's how I typically am. But every now and then, I have to push the limits. I'm like 20%. I got this. 10%. I got this. But every now and then, my phone likes to remind me that no, I don't got this. I mean, this isn't fruit punch flavor or any fruit flavor for that matter. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Now I said butterscotch before, but now I'm thinking like a very, very faint pineapple. Honestly, my phone does that too. More times than not, I'll sit there and I'll be doing something, and it'll give me all those signs about being at 10, 20%. And I'm like, I'm scrambling, and it's zooming down to that 1%. And then it'll just stay at that 1% forever. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, I don't even get this. And, like, it does better at 1% than it does at all. Like, the top 19%, you know what I mean? Like all that 19% before was gone. But this 1% lasts longer than all that. Like, I'll be blown away. Like, I don't get it. And that's why I be thinking I can, like, push it sometimes, because every now and then it'll just say, no, this 1% ain't gonna last you the way it did before. My plan is to hopefully be able to get a new phone this year. But like I said earlier, you might not have been here when I said that, but actually I think you were. I don't know. But if I get another one, it'll have to have at least the same amount of storage. And also, it's going to have to be an iPhone. Actually, you know what? It doesn't have to be. Ooh, maybe it does. I mean, at this point, it'll just have to be an iPhone. I got this iPhone in 2018, 2019, one of the two. So it's been a while. Like I'm definitely due, but it's held me down. Like that's pretty impressive, I would say. Apple, they got some pretty reliable phones, even though they stopped supporting the updates last year. So that sucks. You know what that means? I don't get. That means I don't get the new emojis. Now this, but it's so silly. But I'd be more impressed off about that than really anything just reminds me that my phone's like just a dinosaur. And by the way, Apple totally oversaw that emoji thing. Remember the commercials with the little like moving emojis that people were supposed to like, it was supposed to be this big whole thing. They never really took off. Oh, so you're ahead of me. You've got a 12. I also have an SE. This is from whenever they released that more recent one. It only has 64 gigabytes. It's utterly useless for content creation. First of all, they shouldn't even make phones at 64 gigabytes anymore, considering how much space it takes for those updates. And I think the 6 is the same size as this SE, because the SE is teeny. Look, it still has a button. Like and honestly, I like the XL a lot more than this SE. And the SE came out later. It does have better performance. Like if I had the space, I would do everything on this phone. But 64 gigabytes, honestly, I think at any given time I have like 10 gigabytes free. That's not enough because the files end up being like 10 gigabytes when I'm editing them. So I need the space for the video, but then I need like triple the space for like the project when it's being edited. And then when the video's like rendered, it's smaller than the original file, but in order to get it to save, you still need like double what it is. It's a whole thing. Oh yeah, but when I was getting this SE, I was looking at the 12 because they were saying like performance-wise, they're pretty neck and neck. And it was like, well, should you just get the 12 because it's got the better cameras, or get the SE? And I chose the SE only because of the future updates. Oh, yeah, see, that's kind of the issue over here. Like, I don't have half the apps over there. Like, I have dormant apps on this phone because it has 250 gigs. But, like, if I clear everything that I don't need at any given time when I need to edit, I have like 80 gigabytes to use. Like, and I need every bit of that. Because just 2 days ago, I went to edit a video and it couldn't save it because I didn't have the space. And I was like, oh, I have a ton of crap and trash that I didn't delete. But I need that. I need that space. And it's just crazy because Apple pushed an update to my phone yesterday, the SE. And it needed a gigabyte. And I was like, do I have a gigabyte to download that thing? I did. 10%. Yeah. But to be fair, again, you're on a 12. So, look, my X just can't really cut it anymore. I'm glad that it still allows me to like edit my videos, because I was just thinking this like the other day. I thought if my tin's in bad shape, by the way, like the glass all shattered up. The battery is like at like 50 or 60% health, like it's on its last legs. I was like, if I didn't have this phone, like my content schedule would be cut to like 1 or 2 videos every other week or something. Like, I don't know. That's like exaggeration, but it would be way shorter than like every day that I'm currently doing. I'm really on my grind right now, but it's because I have all that space. Because I didn't even go this hard when I first started, and I was using my laptop. But even my laptop doesn't have as much space as this. I was gonna say my phone's in bad shape, but it's survived a whole hell of a lot. Like I said, it still functions the way I need it to function. My cameras work, and it can edit. It can still call. So, shout out to Gohan. How's it going, Gohan? We've got a Dragon Ball Z event in the house. By the way, Gohan, we're on 10%, so this video could die at any moment. So, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the like button before you go, though. Or before I go. You aren't wrong. That's my biggest problem about the new phones is they're so all the materials. Like if you want a good one, they're gonna have all that glass, and I just like make them out of plastic again. Like just put the plastic on so that I can drop it 500 times without it like either A, shattering like literal glass, or it just looking like an absolute eyesore. And it's crazy because it's like you have these really pretty-ish phones, right? But you gotta keep it in these ugly cases to keep them protected. Like, just make them more durable. I've had 2 Androids. In fact, this is my old, before I got my iPhone, I used this LG. as you can see, well, you can't see it, but it's got a cracked screen, and I'm telling you, I was so sad when they said LG was going under because they were really like pioneers when it came to like innovating with tech. Yeah, right there, baby. Is this even on? No, the problem with this thing's battery. I talk about my my ex, but this thing's battery is it's in worse shape actually. But to be fair, I used to keep this thing on the charger way too much, and I use it on the charger way too much. But first of all, when it first came out, this thing was so pretty. What's my password? Oh, right. But yeah, now I plan to use this for my music because I want to start walking again, but I can't walk without music. And I don't want to have to use Spotify because I want to just use Spotify. No, I don't want to have to stream my music. I've dropped that thing into like completely submerged water before. Like, that phone has no business being alive. Like, honestly. And that was considered their flagship at the time. So, that was a good ass phone. That was a good phone. I don't know what that person said. Salam alaikum from, I think it says hello, from Uzbekistan. I was just thinking the other day that I have a lot of viewers from like the Middle East and Asia. I don't know how you guys find me, but hello. Like, literally, my combined like geographic like share of viewership is higher than like the UK. Like, I have no idea how that happened, but like, shout out to all you guys out there watching. So shout out to everybody who watches the videos. Shout out to people who are liking the videos. I definitely appreciate it. And I'm always shocked that people actually share the videos. Doesn't happen a whole lot, but I see that they get shared every so often, and I'm like, you took the time to say, hey, buddy, friend, whoever, I'm sending you this video because you need to see this. That's awesome. And then people have been saying I should try putting my videos on TikTok. And I did finally create an account for TikTok, but it's like I balancing both. It's kind of tough work. Also, the atmosphere on TikTok is a bit different. So, yeah, I prefer the atmosphere YouTube more anyways. But awesome, I'm more of a long form content consumer anyways. So, and TikTok is built on like 10, 15 second, 10, 15, 20, you know what I mean? Like a minute or less type